Alright guys, in this week's video, we're going to be installing the second half of this metal standing seam roof, and we're going to jump right back into it, so I'll see you up there. Once it's locked and in place, I'll go up to the ridge and I'll put 2 screws in it to mechanically fasten it. That way the panel can't shift or slide. So this shark skin underlayment is a high temperature product. It's very important you use a high temp underlayment when installing any type of metal roofing. I believe this particular product has a heat rating up to 260 degrees. It's one of the highest heat rated peel and stick underlayments that there is out there. To make this panel for the cheek wall, I took a few measurements at the bottom, the middle, and the top, and I used an edge rolling machine to turn it 4 inches up the wall, and now I'll just go and mechanically fasten it to the plywood. I can't finish this last panel until I do the other side of the roof when the weather gets a little nicer, so I'm going to jump onto the back of the house and start working those panels. I'm going to do the same thing over and over again in this clip. So I'm going to condense it down to a time lapse. But what I'm doing here is essentially I've prepped all my panels down on the bottom. I've cut 1.25 inches off the top so that I can slide into my receiver. And then I'm just going to go down the roof, putting these clips in every 16 inches. And I'm going to lock the bottom on the drip edge like I showed you out front. So before I could finish the last panel and install the drip edge, I need to take care of this soffit detail. I've went ahead and installed F-channel across the bottom side of the overhang, and I've pre-cut all my 12-inch soffit panels. I found this product on Worthhouse. It's a faux wood vinyl soffit, and it's vented. It looks incredible. I wasn't just going to go with your typical builder grade white vinyl soffit, so this was a really nice trade up. Now I've got this piece of 032 that I bent up at my shop. I wanted this to mimic a actual fascia board, so I turned it down and returned it onto itself about 3/4. I just thought it had like a better detail than a typical 90-degree metal. I covered how to make a starter panel in part 1. An end panel is made the exact same way. You cut it to size, hem the rake, and lock it on. I wish I'd get my wife to climb up here and line up the top for me. Might not work out too well though. Probably be picking her up out of a snowbank.
When making these panels, though, one thing to take into consideration is that metal roofs expand and contract quite a bit. So you're going to want to leave it a little bit big, but you also want to have it enough to lock onto the drip edge so it's not going to pop back off in the future.
Now I can't really fold this all the way over. I won't be able to get it on, but I'm going to start it just to get a nice crisp line on the bottom. All right, now we're good.
That's it. This roof's finished. Now I got to go install the rest of the cap.
All right, guys, if you're enjoying this video, please do me a favor, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe. We don't want you to miss out on anything. Now let's get back up there and see how this roof turned out.
So I've got my cap ready to install. I got the ridge opened up nice and wide for proper ventilation. This modified Z enclosure that receives the panels from the bottom. Now, when the proper vents on the inside of the house coupled with the soffit vent down the bottom, cold air will come in from the bottom, pushing up the warm air out of the ridge, and this creates a nice breathable roof system. Here in New England, you know, not so much on a metal roof, but you know, a lot of these older homes, like this one across the street, gets bad ice dams. That's just from poor ventilation. They got a lot of warm air trapped in their attic, and it's not escaping. So what I'm going to do is take this piece of flat stock, hang it down so that I can lock it underneath my drip edge. I'm just going to mark the top of it. Cut it right there. There we go. That's how the cap's done. So the reason I folded that inside was so when you're on the ground, you're not going to see the white part of the cap. Or rivets on the bottom to hold that cap a little tighter up against the drip edge. But I mean, actually it's good. It ain't going anywhere. So that's how you close off a cap.
It's